What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mat Manifesto. We are back in the recording studio.
He remembered to
I remembered
book.
this time.
He actually
yes.
booked it. We're
Yeah.
proud of him for hitting the submit button.
But let's not bury the lead, guys.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about me. We're not here to talk about us. We are here to talk about the amazing, the illustrious, the just coming off the back of genuinely one of my favorite coastal championship runs in recent
loss.
memory.
Kiss ass.
True.
He needs
please
to.
welcome in Dustin Connors, the war boy.
Woo. You know, we have a button for that now.
We do. Is it that one?
That's the best one.
See, I'm about to do your job a whole lot better.
Yeah, thank you. There we go.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay,
Well-
it stops.
Obviously, thank you, and we're able to finally have this now that Ben didn't screw it up
Yes.
the first time. But so I think we should get down to it and start talking.
Yeah, no.
Well, obviously, Dustin, war boy, bitch. Sorry,
Damn,
habits.
to his face is
Yep,
crazy.
It's fine.
By
It's
the
good.
way.
He won't hit me. It's on. it's recorded, so he can't.
Do we need to
You're
bring
lucky
up
you're on the
clip
other side of
you,
the table.
Jared?
Huh?
Pink is the new black. Watch your mouth a little bit.
Well, let's obviously start with what got you into pro wrestling. What?
Let's break it down. So probably at the age of, I'm gonna say like 8 or 9. My granddad came back with some wrestling DVDs for me and my cousins from Vietnam, and these were ones that had like multiple things on just like one disc. So like I'm talking like random 2000 episodes of SmackDown and Raw, and then the Chris Benoit documentary just chucked in there randomly. And yeah, like just watching it, we all loved it growing up, and then they kind of drifted a bit off it, and I was hooked and led me to where I am today.
Oh,
Nice.
right. Who would you say was your first big inspiration in the ring?
Honestly, it's a tie-up. It was very much like a lot of people are going to say John Cena. For me, it was Cena and also Shawn Michaels, and thankfully they've also had matches against each other at WrestleMania 1. Well,
The raw one is better. Personally.
Raw in London.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Way better.
that's pretty good.
always up for debate. But yeah, they were the main two, and I guess another honorable mention is I loved Undertaker, but my cousin's favorite was The Undertaker, so I was like, screw you, I'm going to be different, so Kane. But he has a cool uppercut, so for the most part, yeah, Cena and Shawn Michaels.
Cool.
Evelyn, you got a question?
How long have you been in the wrestling scene, like the game for? Like, from when you started to where you are now as well, like, what you noticed early on and where you are, like, now? Does that make any sense?
Yes. So I started training back in December of 2015. Basically just from looking up online wrestling schools, and more so what wrestling schools were like in Australia. And to my surprise, there's heaps. Even in Perth alone, at the time there was, I'm going to say 3. And yeah, I just went down at the age of 13 with my dad. Gave it a shot, went to a tryout, and yeah, I was just hooked. And so I've been training since December 2015, and I had my first match on any sort of show at that would be August 2016. So yeah, coming up to about 10 years now
Wow.
Wow.
of in-ring.
That is a decade of wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
That
it's
is
impressive.
crazy.
I would say it shows.
Oh, yeah.
I would say
yeah.
it shows.
100%. I want to know, how was that? Like walking into a wrestling school 13 with people who are probably way older. Was that like nerve-wracking, or was that
Yeah,
just
it must have been daunting.
A little bit daunting, but also just exciting to see the thing you've watched up on TV, and you're like, whoa, that's a wrestling ring that like I can actually go right beside. And again, as well, like any training school starting out doesn't have the funds of a WWE and AEW to have a performance center. So majority of the time that's in some sort of warehouse, shed. But no, it was exciting and just actually getting to see my love and passion right in front of me and knowing, cool, I get to join in and do this stuff now. It was just like, yeah, it was surreal.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
feel like that almost that's a good way of looking at, you know, where you are now versus back then, you know.
Yeah.
Coming in as a child, essentially. Coming into the
Well,
business as
basically.
essentially
Yeah,
a child.
Basically, yeah.
And growing up into, you know, being a man now, that's a long time. That's a lot of, you know, you're very impressionable through those ages. And
A lot of, I would say probably in that time, probably a lot of life lessons have come from
yeah.
that.
And I would argue that you don't, that in wrestling, you get more life experience than I would say other ventures.
I would say so, yeah. I would say in wrestling, you'd probably get more life experience than, like, say, if you were playing like football in the sense of, like, more just real stuff happening.
Yeah, for sure. I think in wrestling, I remember one of the first things Del Cano said to me was, it's not real until it happens.
Yeah.
I
I can agree. Because he's told this to Jay, which is normally the first thing he said to Jay was, stop stealing my moves. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I guess if we want to, we can kick off some more in-depth questions.
Yes.
My big question for you, given that we've just come off the back of your Coastal Championship run, I want to ask, in your eyes, what were you expecting when you first won versus what was maybe EPW management expecting from you? How did those two things differ?
Look, I tend to not look so much at what management is after from me. More so a sense I'm trying to prove myself. And in my very scenario, like, I'm trying to prove myself to Damian Slater, Marcus Pitt, showing that I have that I saw that. I have that potential in me to be something more than just a run-of-the-mill mid-card guy, the happy-go-lucky babyface that I was at one point. And just, take the ball of the Coastal Championship and just take it to heights that I maybe hadn't seen before in a while. And I'm quite honestly proud to say that title reign, for what it was, meant a lot to me. And even just the chance to share the ring with various individuals and of different experience levels, people that I've known in the wrestling business for ever since I started, to people that have come in since I've started, like, it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think
It's a great way.
yeah, it's a great way to put it. I think you know, just look at the matches that you had in that run. You know, you would go the open challenge with you, Jared, to
that's awkward.
facing, you know, someone like Jesse, who, albeit you did lose to,
And I would say
unfortunately,
two very similar people.
well, I would say they're actually
Not
quite
even
opposite
close.
ends of the spectrum.
Are you saying that
Don't fill your ego up.
Jesse Lambert and Jared Styles are the same?
I'm saying they're opposites.
No, I'm
He's saying they're the same.
He's
You're
saying
saying
I'm
they're the
doing it because I'm an egotistical person.
He's saying some random bullshit. No, I'm saying that I think it's a testament to you to show that you were willing to give almost anybody a shot. You know, I can't remember the last time the Coastal Championship had an open challenge.
Yeah, I can't. Not off the top of my head, no.
Exactly.
And then obviously you've after the open challenge, you faced Del Cano at ESPW, which
Exactly, and
it's been a while.
That's another you know, opposite end of the spectrum. That's going straight from going, oh hey, let me give these trainees a shot, to let me go face one of the most experienced guys in the business today.
Yeah. And not just that, but also doing it on a school show and not doing it on the main card, which is Coastal title hasn't been very brought down to the ESPW level. It's been always, you got to get to that main card or you're not getting an opportunity. And now we're seeing it more.
I think as well, it just comes down to, like, again, I'm not only wanting to better myself a lot, but also like kind of give out those opportunities to people that maybe haven't had the shot that they deserve or are trying to break through that glass ceiling. Like it's interesting because, yeah, getting to mix it up, especially with people like Delcano, who I have known again since I started, having encounters with him over the years, and then actually getting to have a one-on-one singles match with him was, yeah, it was interesting. And it's mind blowing to me now just how far I've come from when I last interacted with him in a ring versus now. It's just crazy.
Yeah, because on that, like, have you gone back to like watch maybe like early on matches of yourself and then like watched your current self and been like looking at it and being like, it's night and day. Like I have changed incredibly, if you know what I mean.
I don't try to watch a lot of my old stuff back, more so for the sake. I'm very much a person that I've watched it and I've also experienced it, so I've always got it in the back of my head. But I definitely know I've come night and day. But even just, I guess, the ring sense, especially, like having the teachings that I do now, not only from TMDK, but also from EPW, it's just taken me to a new level that I don't think I could have found on my own.
I wanted to bring it back to a little bit earlier because you have joined the scene so young. What age exactly did you make your debut?
So I started training at the age of 13, and my debut, I'm going to say, 14?
Wow.
Wow, that is young.
Yeah.
You've had a very extensive, long career for how old you are. And I'm not sure if you see there are some other guys maybe doing something similar or not to your extent, maybe like someone like Jimmy Zero. We have young trainees coming in at 16 now, not as young as you were, but from your experiences, is there advice or like how do you feel about that, like in general? Like how about going around it and based off your experience?
I definitely say that starting young, at least in my case, was a benefit. It's not necessarily something I encourage, or more so that wrestling schools encourage, starting that young. Because again, you're still developing mentally, but also like physically. But even just getting the chance to experience it in some form or fashion at a young age, it's definitely beneficial. And yeah, Jimmy Zero is a one that I have gained more and more like interest in, especially more from his social media stuff. It's just he's figuring out how to capture the eyes that aren't necessarily at shows. It's the people in other states, other countries. It's just people are more and more using social media for what it's for and in a positive way, which is very beneficial.
I wasn't done.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just agreeing with him.
Okay.
It's like, yep.
Did your age ever limit you in what you could do or how you felt that you could do things? Like some people say size can limit you, but can age limit you?
Not particularly. It's more just, I guess, a sense then of how people are going to view you. Like, I think it's more for me personally. It was we don't exactly want a kid out in the ring in front of a crowd being like, this little kid's getting beaten up by a dude that's probably 6 foot, over 100 kilos. Like, it's not, I guess, the image they want for the company that they're trying to promote and just the shows as well. So it definitely has its moments, but like at the point in my career I'm at now, like I haven't found any brick walls that I've run into that I couldn't get past. So I guess to answer your question, it doesn't necessarily have a down effect.
No, that's good.
Well, I want to bring back to what you said about all the experience you have, obviously Team DK and obviously the trainers at EPW. What's some advice that you've gotten from Slater or Marcus Pitt or even just Team DK in general, or even the trainers at EPW that you didn't like think about that at first, but then like when they brought it up, you're like, oh, okay, that's something I didn't think of, but now it's in your head going forward.
I think it's just thinking of like the little things, the 1%ers that coaches love to talk about. Marcus Pitt and Damon Slater are big ones for it. Like, it's the little in-between stuff that you're just not thinking about. In the moment, you don't come across, but the more you watch back, not only your own matches, but other matches, and you kind of go, oh, there's something here I'm looking at that I just didn't think about in the moment. And as well, I think Duke Hudson also has a great perspective on wrestling when he came over recently. And just the vast knowledge that EPW has alone is just amazing, and everyone should be taking advantage of it.
100%. I agree. I think we have some of the best coaches in Australia, let alone the world. Because if you look at like Slater himself, he's been well traveled. Same with a few others that we've had, and we've had obviously, as you said, Duke Hudson came down, and then we've had Edward Dusk come here, and you learn so much from everyone that's been training here.
And it's not even just like the trainers, like the people that are qualified to be trainers. It's people like, yourself, Rogan, Elijah Henry, Lucas
Logan Gray.
Fantasia, people who even just people that are just coming down training with us that have been able to go to America, go to England, Canada, all these points. They're able to come back and still, hey, even though I'm not a trainer, I'll still help give you little, this is what I learned from over here.
Yeah.
This is what I learned from across this pond,
Yeah. Well, it's like if you like listen to Dave.
Sorry to cut you off. I just want to finish my point. Nobody gatekeeps.
No,
in wrestling,
100%.
I feel like, at least in APW.
Yeah.
I think that's the culture of it, though, of Perth wrestling. Everyone treats, or for the most part, everyone treats each other as equals and as like a family. And this is where, one person gets brought up and they're going to try bring up the others with them. I remember like Jared, for example, as soon as he passed one of his gradings, he still comes down to all the fundamentals class, and he's like, I'm going to help you guys to get where I am now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's even like a case with me, for example. I'm someone that can't get down to training as much as I would like to.
Disappointing.
I know.
Very disappointing.
I know. Okay, full disclosure, I was supposed to come down Wednesday and I just genuinely forgot. That it was Wednesday.
I was going to say, for someone who hasn't done much training, you seem to be having some CTE.
Yeah. So when I do get down to training, my point is, when I do get down, it's nice to see that nobody treats me different. Nobody is like, oh, like you haven't been here for a while, so we're gonna belittle you or whatever. No, everyone is like very calm, very nice. Everyone's very friendly, and I think that's a big testament to EPW as a whole.
Yeah, 100%. Even if you go into like when Dave talks about EPW when it started, we had guys like Hartley. And then even when Mikey and that they'd go do like stuff in LA or they'd go to Japan. They'd come back and be like, hey, I learned this. I'm going to teach you guys this because this is what you need to learn. Like, this is what everyone else is learning. So I want you guys to learn it. And it's more of that everyone grows with each other than it is I grow and everyone else can just sit back.
Yeah. If we bring Dustin back into the conversation here.
Yes, bring it back to Dustin.
Yes, we'll bring it back to Dustin.
I am in this room.
He is.
Speaking about like coachings and helping, I guess, more the younger generation now being brought up to speed, is that a path that you might look into, potentially coaching one day?
I think it's definitely a possibility one day. I'm still looking to achieve my goals first. And that is the number one, is to break out of Australia, more so Perth. It is the most isolated part of this entire country, unfortunately. And just go experience life and just wrestling itself, like around the country, internationally, like get the most I can out of this lovely sport that we call pro wrestling.
What do you think would be most beneficial for the Western Australian scene to help like people like yourself break out of the mold?
The simple answer would be to say opportunities, but again, very much in Australia as a whole, it's very few and far between. But I think it's more just taking a chance on yourself and just jumping into the unknown and going all in on an opportunity, whether that's something internationally, interstate, and just giving it your best shot you can and leaving no stone unturned, and just giving no what ifs or having no regrets.
I know you had an American tour a couple years back now. What sort of like experience or knowledge did you gain from that? Like coming back, were you able to apply anything from being over there coming back to Perth? Or
I think it's just again, I've always been it, but just being as much as you can, being coachable and just being adaptable. Like one of the schools we went to when we went to America was Catch Point in Philadelphia, and they have a more fed style ring where it's bigger to what it is, because EPW has
18 by 18?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's the 20-foot. And just us kind of having to work on the fly a bit and go, oh, okay, this is slightly more different. We've got to adjust our style. We've got to adjust our movement, our steps, just that little bit. And yeah, just getting to see, I guess, a different country's version of pro wrestling. And I guess the more mainstream, because a lot of what you see on TV is over in America. Like we're seeing more and more of like other places like Japan come through, but for the most part, you are seeing on your mainstream TVs, you are seeing the big feds, WWE, AEW, and just getting a little taste for it, even in that moment. Like, yeah, it was mind opening.
Because on that, in the sense of, and I think we might have asked Cargus this, but when you went over to America and you wrestled there, what was the big difference from their style to compared to like our style we have here in Australia or Perth?
I don't know if it's so much the style, it's more just the frequency. Like those guys are wrestling 4 times in one weekend. They are wrestling every weekend. They are wrestling throughout the week. It's just interesting to hear how they're going from, we're telling them, oh, we have like 2 shows a month. And they'll be like, 2 shows a month? Oh, we have 2 shows just this weekend. And then next weekend. And then the weekend after that. It's just...
That's a big jump when you think
that's
about
a lot
it.
of...
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
Because I think their learning is very much, whereas we do the vast majority of our learning at trainings, their learning is more on the fly. It's in these moments and shows. Like these guys are breaking out a little bit earlier than we are and just getting to experience kind of in the moment, which is, for some it's scary, but for others it's just what works better for them and what they prefer.
Yeah, because I have like seen, especially like schools that are in America, it's very like you train for 6 to 12 months and then they go, okay, you're done. You go wrestle wherever you want and you're cool. And we're here, it's like you train with us, you wrestle with us, and then you can branch out after. But you start with us and we can get you to, like, you train here at EPW, you get put on a trainee show and then you get put on ESPW in the main shows, where in America, some companies probably do that, but it's like, it's very much like you train there, then you can go and wrestle wherever you want in America. But they're like, they encourage you to go and like go away.
Yeah, exactly.
But not even necessarily that the way like it's done here in Australia is like wrong. It's more along the lines of they're trying to just like build you up to that level that you are confident, you are safe, you are happy with where your abilities are, and then it's more the door's open.
Yeah,
go explore.
100%.
It's very much, especially EPW, there's like gatekeeping. It's unfortunately a thing that still exists in wrestling, but it's not beneficial for wrestlers because you can only learn so much in one place, which again is why I think America is very much in the mindset of, cool, we've taught you everything that we can teach you. Go learn elsewhere. Go see what else knowledge you can learn from different schools, different opponents, different shows. Like, the knowledge is endless.
Yeah.
I wanted to take it back to when you were starting, when you were first getting into wrestling. Who was, if you could take one opponent or one wrestler from when you were growing up and one wrestler nowadays, who would you most like to face from those two sort of eras, I guess?
What do you mean by that?
So say the wrestlers that you were growing up watching, so like your Undertakers,
Your John
all the
Cenas.
John Cenas, those sort of
Yeah.
guys. I did word that poorly. I just realized.
I was going to say, do you want me to give it a go?
Yeah, we're going into like a triple threat, right? And you get to pick one opponent from back in the day versus an opponent that you're more likely to face nowadays.
Put me on the spot there. I definitely think that
We wanted to.
first slot would be filled. Again, I toss between so many, but I think I'd have to go with Shawn Michaels. Yeah,
I
caught you off
thought,
guard there.
I thought it was going the other way.
And honestly, the one of today, I don't know. It very much depends. Like, there's people that were kind of still wrestling today, but then they're like slowly starting to turn down. But I think today's answer would either toss between a Claudio or a Seth Rollins.
Good matches, actually.
That'd be a great match
Yeah.
to watch.
Oh,
I'd love to have said AJ, but unfortunately, retired now.
He's
Yeah.
retired.
that's sad. Yeah. You got a question for him, Evelyn Faye?
Oh, I had one and then
Oh.
it left me.
Don't you know? But I want to ask, because obviously we talked about you going to America and all that stuff. How did that, like, Ben? What the hell?
And a full sugar monster as well.
God damn it!
I am disappointed.
Not a
in
body
you.
guy.
So honestly, so am I. I
I hope it's
I
warm.
was running late. I was running late. Just grabbed the first one that I saw.
As I
Continue.
was saying before, he rudely
Sorry for
interrupted me.
interrupting, Jared.
How did Evelyn? How did the going to America like come about? Like, was it just you guys going? Because obviously you went with Cargus. Did you guys kind of just go, let's go to America, or was it like, did it get brought up to you by someone being like, hey, have you guys thought of going to
How many
America?
times did you guys talk about it over text before it came to
Left the
fruition?
group chat.
Yeah, when did it leave the group chat?
Yeah, exactly.
So I started debuted wrestling in 2016. I'm going to say the talks probably started between myself, Rogan, and Cameron Stone, being our third member. I'm going to say maybe 2018, 2019. Like, we first started kind of going like, oh, that'd be cool one day. And I think it really kicked off in like, I'd say, 2021. And we really started putting, working out the finer details and just having, it almost seemed like weekly group calls where we're just sorting out like, all right, let's all look at flights now. How's everyone doing for money at the moment? How are we doing looking at schools? What's everyone finding out? And yeah, it was very much a moment that we were all happy by, just the fact that when we got there, and even at the end of it, we got the chance to say, wow, this really, and you said it before, started as an idea in a group chat, and we actually got to do it. It was amazing.
I think that's really interesting. Just to know how long you guys were actually planning it. Because I don't think we really dived in too deep into your guys' trip with Rogan. I think we touched on
In
it
our
very
defense, we also really had limited time.
We did. We very
were
much
rushing
brushed
at the
over
end there.
the sort of basics of it. But, we have you here now, so we can go into the finer details. How do you remember how often would you say you guys were wrestling a week? That, like, including training, including, like, any matches you were having? Like, how many times do you think you were training a week in that period?
So I'm going to be honest, it wasn't as much as we had hoped for, and I guess
Really?
wanted going into it. But we also went in with the mentality of, as much as this is about wrestling, this is still a trip. Like, we're going to go see America. Like, at that point, none of us had done that. So it was very much going to all these different places and getting to train, potentially wrestle, but also just getting to see, like, we got to try all the fast foods that we've seen about on TV for so long. And I will say right now, In-N-Out is very overrated.
Yes, thank you.
Very
yes.
overrated.
Heard it here first.
Five Guys is better.
Yeah, so we got the place we got to train. I'm going to try and remember off here. So we did Catch Point in Philadelphia. We did Dog Pound Wrestling Dojo in, I'm going to say, was it Austin, Texas? I think so. We got to wrestle also for Dog Pound in a barbershop car park on like a 40-degree day, and their ring canvas was black, so it was boiling hot.
Oh my God, it's like Fat Brew all over again.
We also got to do, where am I at? Millennium Pro Wrestling in, where am I at? Where did we start? California. And they're I guess it's their training facility as well, but also where they put on weekly shows, and it is such a fun time. And their facility is right above a rock climbing place, which I find hilarious.
That's terrifying.
That's great.
But just, yeah, like they're a company, especially that they're putting on this weekly product. Like, their crowds might not always be massive, but they've got these people that are constantly coming back. Even like the wrestlers that are constantly working. I think as well, just from learning from each place we trained and also got a chance to wrestle, like, there was just different experiences with different people. Like, some of the places, like, some of the individuals there were a bit like, oh, like, you seem a bit interesting. But then there's people that were, like, down to earth and nice. Like, I think our best overall experience as far as wrestling and training was probably Dog Pound. Getting to train under Rodney Mack and Jazz as well.
Wow.
Amazing. And just, yeah, the boys and the girls there were just so accepting of us, and I think probably a little bit due to the Aussies, as they like to say, coming in to America, but also just like how much we loved doing and sharing the same interest of pro wrestling.
Yeah, that's cool.
How sorry to cut you off, but I just want to ask, how different is the wrestling scene? Maybe not in terms of like crowd and shows, but in terms of actual wrestlers. How different is it comparing Texas to California to Philadelphia? How much of a difference is there between the states?
Yeah, like, is there like vast differences, or is it just like little things?
Very little things. I think it just depends what schools they started at or maybe are mainly based at. But again, for the most part, their knowledge is probably not to the same level as what we have in Australia, because we are very much training based and then going to shows. They are very much learning on shows, so they might not have the same ring IQ as some of our top guys here in Australia.
That's interesting. Sorry to cut you off, but that's interesting. That's very interesting to me, how that would work, because I would feel like maybe, yes, they don't have the same ring IQ as some of our top guys, but maybe some of our top guys might not have the same crowd work as their guys would.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's very much as well just getting like, they don't have a chance to look at the deep water and go, oh, I don't know if I really want to go swim in that. It's like, no, here you go. You're in the deep water now. Time to swim.
Yeah.
And just being them having the mentality of like, oh, cool, I'm in the ring with this person. I'm going to listen. I'm going to learn. But I'm also going to know what I can give back. I'm not just going to be full, yes, 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 yes. I'm also going to know where my lines are. And if there's things that I'm not comfortable with, that's where it ends. And it's definitely something I think needs to be taught more. It's just, I guess, the learning on the fly. Not even necessarily like wrestling on the fly, but just being in the moment and just not overthinking too much.
Would you say that, like, in the sense of American wrestling, it's very much so, instead of like them looking at the deep water and being like, oh, that's scary, when they go to look at the deep water, they're getting a boot in their back going, oh, you're going in that water anyway?
A little bit, but also I think, again, because they're a lot more up close and personal with all the big federations, that they're kind of like, oh, cool, that's the deep water of wrestling. Cool, I'm jumping straight in.
Yeah.
It's not they're necessarily hesitated by it. They're just balls to the wall, straight in, ready to go, and just give it the best they can.
It might be a little bit less daunting looking at it when you're so close to it versus here, we're so far away from it.
They're a little bit more exposed than they're more exposed to it than we are in Australia.
Yeah.
What I was going to say before is like they have almost a larger database of opportunities as well, where Australia is not limited, but there's a lot less. So where they can probably go find 10 promotions in their local area, you might go over east, you might find 3 in the same sort of,
Yeah. I think going back to what you said, Jared, on the last episode,
I've said a lot of things on these episodes.
You said last episode how Australian fans will probably form more of a connection to our indie wrestlers because you can go and see them, because you can go and interact with them. You can go to a PWA show, you can go to an EPW show, you can go and see Shay Cassidy, you can go and see Dustin Connors.
Yeah, he won't like to see you, but you can see him.
But on the other side
Depends
of the
if you're buying my merch or not.
On the other side of the same coin, in America, you would have almost a bigger point of that. You would have, oh, wow, not only is, sure, there's a 5% chance, maybe, unless I might go and see Drew McIntyre walking down the street or something, but you would also get, oh, wait, I might see you, but it's even more likely that I'll see this indie wrestler that I really like. And
yeah. And I think that you can, and Dustin can talk on this more, but like, I feel like that's just general indie wrestling in general. Like you can see most of those guys.
I feel like there is also just another difference though between Australia and America in that sense, because as Dustin has said, the American trainees will like to travel around a lot. The fans may not see that same indie wrestler every show.
That's
it's less frequent.
Point.
Whereas here, fans have quite literally watched Dustin Connors grow up.
Yeah, like there are people that have been watching you since you were 14. Like,
100%.
Like this is a decade.
Yeah,
like they've seen a child almost like starting out in high school grow up in front of them. I think they're going to build a much more deeper connection with that. And just, you can see how evident is just even the way they react to him. It doesn't even matter if it's a good reaction or a bad reaction, but they can connect with him.
This has just popped into my mind now, but a big testament to that is, I remember, I think it was the triple threat. I think it was the triple threat for the EPW championship.
With Hayden. Hartness
Hayden
and
Hartness and Marcus Pitt. I believe you come out just for
always sticking his nose in people's business.
With Marcus for his
turning
entrance or
point.
something like that. But all I remember is that as soon as one guy sees you, it's whoa, and then the whole crowd is immediately.
I think we should start the chant now, shall we?
They're all.
Don't hit me.
I will throw you out of this studio.
Wow, that's quite rude. We need.
It was almost as if as soon as they saw you, the whole crowd was like, "Oh, I want to fucking pay attention to that guy. I want to interact with that guy."
Yeah, because on that, like, obviously when you first joined TMDK, you went from being this good guy, babyface, to now being straight, just booed out of every building you've gone into. How was that? Like, how was the switch from being this guy that everyone was like, yay, cheer, to now just being like, man, I hate your guts because you're coming out here and just getting called war bitch all the time?
Yeah, going from what Jared Styles currently is, it's hard.
I really appreciate that, Cannon.
I'm going to give you a pass for today and today only. Going back to your question, it's very much was interesting to go, I guess, go into a different kind of deep water. It was, I've been swimming long enough in this as I like to call it, a happy-go-lucky babyface pond, and then going into this unknown of, oh, now this crowd's going to hate you. It was daunting at first, but I also think it was exciting, getting to try something different and just a chance that it's either, sink or swim. And I'm very confident to say that in my own abilities, I not only thrived, but I am continuing to thrive.
I would agree with that.
I would say you're comfortably swimming very comfortably without floaties.
Yeah, I would like.
Who needs floaties?
Just
Jared, do you need floaties?
No, but I was going to look at you and say
Oh,
you
no,
do.
I'm good. I'm good, guys.
I think for me, it's just as someone who's only seen clips of Cannon Connors and your old sort of ventures.
He said it, not me.
I've only ever seen clips, so as someone who's seen that but has known you more primarily as the war boy and what you're doing today, I think it's
the
not
correct term. I like it.
It's night and day for me. I think you are so much more you look so much more comfortable out there, just being putting it not so lightly, just being a dick to people, which I think benefits you in a way. I think your crowd work is actually some of the more underrated in the company today. I think even just doing something as simple as covering my ears or just going, no, shut up. Like, it just eggs them on that little bit more. That makes them go, oh, yeah, I'm going to fucking scream even louder so you do hear me. And I think you're going very under the radar in that sense.
I think it's very much so. Like, again, we break it down. Wrestling shows are performance. Like, we are putting on a show for this crowd. So if we are giving them the chance, even if it's a little chance, just have that interaction with us, that's going to go, oh, I'm enjoying this. I'm going to come to the next show. I'm going to come to the next show after that. If you are giving them nothing, they're going to go, oh, why did I bother? If you are able to have that relationship with your crowd, and even if they're disrespecting me like that, it's part of the job. It's part of what we do as a pro wrestler.
The crowd reacts so well to Dustin Connors because there's also that upset with the turn, in a sense. I don't know. They loved Babyface. I'm not going to say it.
Redacted.
I'm allowing you to say the name.
Cannon Connors. And then you took that away from them and you gave them something else, right? I'm trying to word this in a way that makes sense. Someone help me.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know.
Is there a word you're looking for?
There is a word I'm looking for.
Because all you said is you went from
Betrayal?
You betrayed them.
Not necessarily betray. It's giving them something new. It's something new to react to.
Like a fresh canvas, almost.
It's the same person, fresh canvas, new perspective.
Yeah.
And they're still reacting the amount that they would for Cannon Connors to Dustin Connors, but in a new light. Does any of that make sense?
Yeah, no, I completely.
Anyone picking up what I'm putting down right now?
I think the most important part is, does that make sense to you, Dustin?
I think
to some degree.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think for me, what you're trying to say is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, they show the same amount of noise in booing you than they do when they're cheering you. It's the same level of noise. It's just in a different.
It's basically
tone, I
saying
guess.
you've changed your character, but the crowd reaction is still there, and it's not gone away from you.
They still care the same amount, if not more. I would argue they care more.
Oh yeah, I think.
I think that's really interesting. I think that's really bang on the money.
I think it's more along the lines of just, again, giving fresh coat of paint, new canvas, because a crowd can only pay attention and be invested for something for so long, apart from pro wrestling. That's forever. But just the sense of, like, in my own head, I think I was feeling as a crowd member, I am getting sick of Cannon Connors. I am getting sick of this happy-go-lucky, good guy babyface, and I need to switch it up. I need to evolve because pro wrestling is all about evolving. And if you just stick to the same lane, the same shtick forever, you are just going to sink in that water.
Yeah, it's just like what Chris Jericho said. I know, I'm getting to you. What Jericho said had been like him, how he's evolved through his career. He had to he had to kind of figure out and know like when it's getting stale before the fans figured out it's gotten stale. So he's
that
like,
being said, it's getting stale, Chris. Back it
yeah.
up, buddy.
But we're not talking about those things.
We're not here to talk about Chris Jericho.
Evelyn, what do you want to say? Because you have something.
Have
I
you
do
seen
have
that dude's paycheck though? So like, I
Yeah,
don't think we can
fair.
really comment, unfortunately.
Fair.
Yeah.
So, Dustin, before you changed babyface to heel, did you feel a disconnect with Cannon Connors right towards the tail end of being Cannon and then transitioning to Dustin? Were you slightly disconnect from that character, and did that way affect you, performing as Cannon Connors, which would ultimately affect the crowd?
I think it was more just, a case of I wasn't believing what I was putting out there. Like my wrestling in ring was still to the level, if not even better, that at the point it is now. But just not believing what I'm saying or what I'm trying to, the message I'm trying to convey to the crowd. It just wasn't connecting with me anymore. And I think then I was very much putting myself in the seat of a crowd member and just going, oh, I'm not believing what he's saying or putting out right now. So why should I be cheering this guy? Why should I get behind this guy? And I think it was more, I just wanted to turn a new chapter and just go balls to the walls for something new. And I'm quite happy with what happened and what transpired, and it's led me to where I am now.
I also feel like when you turned into Warboy and Dustin Connors and that, you kind of, if it felt like you jumped off, sounds bad, but like, it felt like you jumped off a cliff without a safety net, where it was like, this is either I go big or go home. Like either, if this doesn't work out, then I don't know what I do next. But it's like you were doing it, but going, I'm putting my all into this. This is not just like you going into that character half-assing it and going, but I can go back to Canon later. Yeah. It's like you're going, no, he's not coming back. I'm staying. This is who I'm going with going forward.
Yeah,
I think so. What Dustin was also saying, he didn't believe in what he was putting out as canon. So there is that disconnect. But as Dustin, when Dustin came out, I feel like you believe.
Yes,
right? You believe in Dustin, yes. You also you notice that confidence on Dustin Connors in comparison to Cannon Connors at the tail end.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There is this gap, and it's shot up, like the level of belief in yourself. Because if you believe in yourself, then the crowd believes it.
100%.
I think Dustin Connors puts that out.
Oh yeah, 100%. I did want to really quick to just changing the subject here. I wanted to go back to This Is Our House, where you won the Coastal Championship. Is that correct? This Is Our House?
No, he won the Rumble.
It was Reawakening, wasn't it?
Reawakening?
Yeah, Reawakening won it.
Sorry, my apologies.
But if we are to go back to This Is Our House, that was where I won the 10 from the West and 10 from the rest Rumble that led.
Which led
going
where he hid for most of that match.
He strategized for that match.
Strategized.
Hid.
Yeah, Rumbles are hard.
Under the rug.
There's a post that I'm thinking of very specifically, where Marcus and
oh my god, I think I know this post. It's hilarious.
Damian Slater are sitting down. They're looking very disappointed, and it shows you with your brand new EPW Coastal title. I want you to walk us through what was that night like in that moment. What was it like coming backstage, looking at the rest of the TMD Gay boys and going, well, I won. What
I
happened to
held
you
up my end of
guys?
the bargain.
Yeah.
It was different because again, for as long as I can remember, and still to this day, TMDK is a dominant force
Oh,
not
yeah.
only in Australian wrestling but worldwide.
100%.
And I think it was just a case of everyone has bad nights, and something about that invitational tournament just wasn't going TMDK's way, and something with James Hartness was just channeling inside of him to beat Marcus Pitt inside of a steel cage. But I don't know, something inside me was just different that night, that just I was able to channel to win the Coastal Championship from Rogan Kargas.
Speaking of Kargas, we will be amiss not to mention what's happening at SD Dub. Obviously, you've now, I would say, taken over Best for Business. Some would say a hostile takeover. What happened? You guys were like best friends. What's gone on?
I'm not going to fill your ego here and give you the inside scoop, but what is Best for Business built on? Business. Simple as that. Business is constantly evolving, and Rogan was not ready to evolve. Simple as that.
I feel like both Dustin and Rogan have done a little bit of a swap in recent years.
I agree.
Like, we had Dustin Connors, who was, babyface, and Rogan Kargas was the big heel. And then they started working together, and it's like they swapped over.
They've changed personalities.
I would say opposites attract, maybe.
Yeah.
If you were to look at the history book of Dustin Connors and Rogan Kargas, that book is endless. It is probably never going to have an end, unfortunately. It's a tale at this point that is as old as time. But the credit I will give Rogan Kargas is he is someone in ring that pushes me to my absolute limits and far beyond them as well, to which not only do I bring out my best work, he brings out his best work. We bring out our best work collectively, which again is why I am very much proud to not only have won the Coastal Championship at Reawakening, but also the fact that we got to have that match against each other in how big was the crowd? We were
Over 500?
exactly like inside Willerton Stadium. It was just a moment that I will forever remember. And the fact that, we got to fight each other in that ring in a crowd that size is just amazing.
I think that brings back to like Australian wrestling being like family. Like, you're not always going to love each other. You're not always going to hate each other, but you're always going to be there for each other in some sort of sense. And that's how I feel about Dustin Connors and Rogan Kargas. They're always going to be up in each other's business, whether they like it or not. And I think that's just
there will always
brilliant
be
in itself.
That underlying. Would you say respect? Would you say you have respect for Rogan?
Just know your answer may hurt Ben's feelings.
That's not true. Not entirely.
Why'd you
He's
wear your
blushing.
cargo shirt, huh? Huh? Why'd you wear your cargo shirt?
At this point in time, I say it wouldn't necessarily be a point of respect, but a point of understanding. We understand each other. He understands what I'm about. He understands what I'm trying to achieve, and I understand what he is about and what he is trying to achieve. It's a tale as old as time, and it's something that is probably always going to be a point in Australian wrestling, or more so Perth wrestling, but it's where some of my best work has come out of, so I can't have too much bad words to say about it.
Well, I want to ask, and this may be a weird question considering what we just talked about, but how did the idea for Best for Business come about with you guys? Was it did someone else bring that up to you guys, or did you guys kind of come up with that idea, that team, that faction together?
I think the word you're looking for is stable.
Either or.
And look, again, I'm not going to fill your ego here and give you all the inside scoop. But wrestling, again, it's all about how can we make a name for ourselves? How can we make the wrestling business about us? How can we be what's best for business? And at that point in time, we all just shared the same idea and same mentality and led to what best for business was at that time and what it is today.
I guess we can look to wrap it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Asking our last few questions.
Unless you're paying me by the hour,
We're
I would do
nearing.
that.
We're
an
definitely
hour.
not paying.
Don't want to hold up too much more of your time than we already have.
Yeah.
I guess for me, my last question. When you look back at your career thus far, what would you say is your 2 or 3 best matches that you yourself think you've put on?
No pressure.
One of my standouts I am very happy with that came out of STW thus far. Actually, I've got 2. One was against the Great George.
Good match.
I remember, I forget what show it was. And one of the others, as of recent, was probably against Robbie Hart at STW. EPW, let's go. I'll say main show. It was probably, it's a toss up between either Rogan and I's match at Gold Rush or the one at Reawakening. I'm probably in this moment going to go Reawakening. As far as ESPW is concerned, I'm going to say, again, Robbie Hart. Robbie Hart is an Australian gem. Like, we are very much lucky to have that guy in our wrestling scene.
100%. He knows a lot of things. He's been doing this for a very, very long time.
Very lovely guy as well.
Yeah.
But also stealing his mist and getting it to using it on him, priceless.
I remember that. I reffed that match. What the hell?
I left with black on my clothes.
You get used to that.
I was in the direct splash zone of that. Not like
I've
that.
been there a few times.
Yeah. Then find that clip, plant the video. We need it.
Yeah.
Funny. Evelyn, you want to do the last question?
Yes. What impact do you wish to have on Australian wrestling, and what are your goals to get to that?
We'll finish up with the big ones.
What time frame you're looking at here?
Doesn't have to be a time frame. I feel like goals can be endless. You have your SMART goals where you put a time on it, but this is overall. Australian wrestling isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so why put a time limit on that?
I think maybe like by the end of your career, what do you want to be able to look back on and say, yeah, like I achieved that?
I think it's more just along the lines of I just want to leave the wrestling business, I guess, in better shape than I found it, and just to leave with no regrets. Again, no stone unturned. Just any opportunity that presents itself to me and any opportunity I can find, just going for it with everything I have and leaving no doubt in my mind that I gave it my best shot.
Nice. Well, the very last question has to be, so we do Tape Study now, our new series, I would say.
Yeah.
And we're going to have every one of our guests give us a match that they want us to watch. What match would you say from Australian wrestling you would say that we would have to watch?
Australian wrestling?
Yes.
Ooh.
Could be one of your own matches. Could be an EPW Classic.
It could be from anywhere in Australia.
PWA, Slam.
As long as it's accessible on YouTube.
Yes.
Or if it's not, send us the link so we can watch it.
I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you one Australian wrestling one, and I'm going to give you one major fed one. Australian wrestling, I'm going to say go back and watch Marcus Pitt and Kingston was at their match of the year. I think at Gold Rush. I think as
I think
well.
it was, yeah.
And as far as big federation match, I'm gonna say go back and watch Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 26.
Ooh.
Because my very much controversial opinion, I prefer 26 over 25.
Wow.
Sue me.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a big way to end that end the podcast. That's a whole bucket of worms we can't open up yet. But yeah, it's cool. We will go watch those matches and we'll go. We'll try and add them to the list of other things.
Long list of matches we need to watch. Well,
thank you so much, Dustin Connors, for being here.
Up there. Thank you very much for giving us your time and
absolutely.
sharing your
I
stories
look forward
with
to the
us.
check in the mail.
We'll come soon enough.
That's going to get very awkward.
We can just send him a carton of Monsters.
Yeah.
That would cover the check.
I feel like that would be good.
As long as it's sugar free, I'm happy.
Then we'll have Evelyn Faye do that then.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust Ben.
Valid. All right. Well, we'll probably wrap it up there, gang. Thank you very much for listening and watching. And thank you again to Dustin Connors. You can be sure, please go check him out on all of his socials.
Which we will put down in the
It'll
description,
be,
I'm guessing.
top link. But, you know, if they can't be bothered to go check out the description, would you like to give them your Instagram? Not that.
Absolutely. So you can find me on most socials either at Dustin Connors or at Dustin Connors1. Don't know why that happened. But at the time of recording this is before EPW Evolution. So let me take this stage to say one thing to Papa Germ.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Where are you? Haven't heard a peep out of you. You're usually a guy that can talk until the cows come home, but now, nothing to say. So you better show up night 1 of Evolution and be ready for the War Boy.
And might I add, I am very, very, very excited to watch that match at Evolution Night 1 at the Point
in Marrowa. July 10th and 11th.
Yes.
2-night events. They're going to be fun. I'm going to be tired by the end of that.
Very.
Yes.
Yeah, that's we're gonna wrap it up there, gang. Thank you very much for watching and listening. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And if you're on Spotify, please rate 5 stars and leave a comment on there too.
And also, as you said earlier before, go follow Dustin Connors.
Yeah, go follow Dustin Connors. Go follow our socials. Evelyn Faye on Instagram, Jared Styles on Instagram. Mat Manifesto.
Ben doesn't have one.
Make sure to support your local indie wrestling scene wherever you may be.
Yeah.
Jared, you wanna...
And make sure you support all your Australian indie wrestling, American indie wrestling, English indie wrestling. Just go support indie wrestling. Go support indie wrestlers.
Yes.
He's one of them. And so are we.
Yeah.
And he's getting there.
Yeah. Eventually.
But yes, thank you guys all for being here, and I hope you enjoy.
Stay safe out there. Have a lovely day or night.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.